Royal Highness, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for inviting me, and John, thank you for that kind introduction. I'm glad to hear that there's a power station in the vaults of the Bank of England. We used to have quite a lot of gold there, but we'll settle for a power station. It is a real pleasure and I think a tribute to the engineering community that someone of your calibre, Sir John, leads the Royal Academy of Engineering's work and makes clear and makes sure that engineering should be such a vital part of our economy. And can I congratulate the Royal Academy on choosing such a particularly fitting venue for these annual awards. Battersea Power Station was, in its day, an incredible feat of British engineering. It involved cutting-edge design, masterminded by Sir Gilbert Scott, who gave us the red telephone box as well. It revolutionised London's energy supplies when it was created. Before Battersea Power Station opened in 1933, London's energy had been supplied by a bewildering array of small and expensive power stations, and then Battersea arrived as the first of a new generation of coal-fired superstations, producing 400,000 kilowatts of electricity a year. And its famous 4 towers made it the most thermal efficient power station in the country at the time. And the room we're standing in right now, and perhaps this won't surprise you, housed one of the largest boilers that had ever been built, heating over 1.5 billion litres of Thames River water every day to produce the steam that turned the station's huge turbines and powered London. And of course, with any engineering project this size, there was furious opposition. The residents of Chelsea were convinced that it would destroy the value of their houses forever, not a fear that's been realised. When work began on the power station, there was a public uproar about the potential pollution. One Member of Parliament wrote to the then Prime Minister, Stanley Baldwin, convinced that such a facility would, in his words, kill every green thing within 2 miles of Battersea, rot all the buildings, and bleach all the babies. So we don't get that with High Speed 2. That was what real opposition was like. And King George V, Your Majesty, waded into the fray, writing to Neville Chamberlain, who was then the Minister of Health, saying the project was ill-advised. And it is just a reminder that when you undertake big, exciting engineering projects, there is always controversy and always opposition, but it very often represents progress. And of course, that was the case with Battersea. It was an overwhelming success. It served our capital with electricity for 50 years and became, as it is now, one of the great icons of the London skyline. And as Sir John mentioned, after 30 years of decay, Battersea Power Station is beginning a new chapter as part of the regeneration of the Nine Elms area, and there are going to be 3,500 homes and 15,000 jobs right here where we're having dinner tonight. And engineering is actually at the heart of this new redevelopment as well, with a big extension of the Northern Line tube here into Nine Elms and Battersea. And in a way, the power station and all that's happened to it and its future, it reminds us of Britain's rich engineering heritage. There is a reason why Isambard Kingdom Brunel and Sir Tim Berners-Lee featured so centrally in the Olympic opening ceremony last year. That showcase that we chose to present to the rest of the world about ourselves and our island story. For we are a nation of engineers. And it was the British who invented the steam engine, the first iron bridge, the television, the telephone, the jet engine, the World Wide Web. We're still working on the air conditioning, but that is going to come in due course. And it was British engineering that sparked the Industrial Revolution, of course, which transformed almost every aspect of our daily lives and turned Britain into the first modern industrial nation. We are still that nation today. And there are companies and projects and entrepreneurs up and down the country disproving the cliche that our engineering days are over. Cambridge-based tech company ARMS microchips power over 95% of the world's smartphones. Crossrail is the largest engineering project in Europe, And it is a remarkable project. If you see it at the various stations around London, I've seen for myself those incredible tunnelling machines that are driving 42 kilometres of tunnels under the streets of London as we speak. And last month, I visited Reaction Engines in Oxfordshire, who are developing right here in the UK the synchronistic air-breathing rocket engine, or SABRE. I think they probably chose the acronym and then made the thing fit to SABRE. It's a new class of engine that can operate at speeds of up to 5 times the speed of sound, being developed in Oxfordshire. And then in Bristol, there is the Bloodhound jet and rocket-propelled car that is aiming to beat the land speed record next year. So we have real achievements in our country, but the fact is that in recent decades, the UK has not done enough to encourage a new generation of engineers. That was a theme of what Sir John was just telling us. We keep hearing about how China produces 14 times as many engineers as us. Well, given their population, perhaps that's not so surprising, but why should the Philippines and Iran both produce twice as many engineers as the United Kingdom? In Singapore, 40% of graduates are engineers. And now you here in this room are the people who are going to help us win the global race. And we are backing you, increasing engineering and manufacturing apprenticeships by 30%, setting out those industrial strategies for the automotive and aerospace industries and other sectors, overhauling the curriculum in our schools and in our further education colleges and in our higher education establishments, overhauling the maths curriculum in our schools, as you will have heard on the TV today, so that our students have a chance of competing on a level with their contemporaries in Singapore and Shanghai. And with the Royal Academy, we are helping to identify the biggest engineering challenges of our age. And as a country, and you saw the photos up there on the screen, we have launched in the 60th year of Her Majesty the Queen's reign, the Queen Elizabeth Prize for Engineering. I think that should be an enormous source of national pride. There was no equivalent of the Nobel Prize for Engineering, despite the profound contribution that engineering makes to human progress. This new international prize puts that right. And recognizing the contribution of engineering is also what the prestigious MacRobert Award for British Engineering is about. And that's, of course, what's being awarded tonight. It's about rewarding engineering excellence and inspiring a new generation of engineers in our own country. Because crucially, for this award, the engineering project has to be developed here in the United Kingdom. And the award has recognized innovation as diverse as the development of the CT scanner to the bionic hand. And this year's finalists, who I'm here to present to, and I had great privilege of meeting just before dinner, are all equally impressive. And can I say, having toured the 3 exhibitions there, the judges have an incredibly difficult job of deciding which one should be the winner. But Concrete Canvas has been shortlisted for their fabric infused with concrete, which creates a durable concrete surface that speeds up many construction projects by 10 times. In effect, it's a roll of fabric, as far as I can work out, that you pour water on and it turns into concrete miraculously within 24 hours. Oxford Instruments have been shortlisted for their XMAX large area detector, helping everyone from the Natural History Museum to analyze meteorites to forensic scientists tracing gunshot residues. And finally, Real VNC has been nominated for their software, which was the first to link smartphones and tablets to desktops and is used by major companies from Apple to Google. 3 very different companies, 3 very different products, but all outstanding British innovations. They are part of the same heritage of British engineering that this power station represents. And so please join me in a big round of applause for our brilliant finalists. Thank you.